Hey guys, what's up? Brian from Swing Yard here. I'm going to do a review today of the Ping G440 Max driver. I previously did a review of the G430, which actually is the driver I have in my bag right now. And thanks to Second Swing, who has allowed us to demo a few clubs here recently, I've been hitting the G440 for the last couple weeks. If I'm being honest, I've actually put off this review because I've been hitting my driver so poorly, and I know that part of the review is hitting this driver for you all. So hopefully I can put a few out there today so that we can make sense of how the club is flying for me. But how do I like the club? I actually really like the look of the club. So here's the look of the club. It's a little bit more modern look with that top crown than the traditional Ping look, that they've had the last couple generations. The club is actually a little lighter. So one of the things I liked about the 430 is that with a lighter 60-gram shaft, I could really feel it in my hands. I've had some people say that they thought the old Ping heads were too heavy, but I actually kind of liked the heavy feel. My 430 is 7.1 ounces, and this 440 is 6.9 ounces, which actually matches the TaylorMade that I have sitting here in my sim. So that's just a personal preference thing, but I do like the heavier head in the 430 more than I like the little lighter head in the 440. But I like the look of the club. It's a more modern look. It's a little bit sleeker than the 430. Um, it has the slider weight on it. You can see there on the left side of your screen, the slider weight, which allows both a fade and a draw bias, or if you're struggling with one, you can kind of self-correct with the weight that's built into the club rather than having to buy additional weights to put on the club. But I do like this club. I think it plays very similarly to the 430. It feels like a Ping. Mishits feel like a Ping relative to like my TaylorMade, which I previously was using. Mishits are very forgiving. It's a little wider face, I feel like, than a TaylorMade, which is a little higher face. Um, but it feels very solid. It almost feels soft. Some describe Ping as a soft feel, but I do like its mishits. Its mishits seem to be more forgiving than the other manufacturers. So on that note, why don't we take a few swings at the driver and see how it's flying for me today. Swing number one. Here goes. Not bad for the first one. All right, that range session wasn't too bad at all. Actually, a lot better than I expected. So I unfortunately won't have to delete any of those shots, but let's take a look and see how they came out using Unicore View. All right, so I've got my Unicore View range session up here. And I must say, for me, that was sort of a remarkable 10 balls. If I look over here on the right, to have 10 shots read in my launch monitor as straight in a row, that's pretty atypical for how I've been hitting the ball. So maybe I got a lucky range session, and maybe, at least in part, the forgiveness that I'm talking about with the Ping drivers is evident here with this range session. So what do I see? Carry distance, pretty good here. Lowest carry distance is 286. If I look over here at the spin, I mean, typically that carry distance is really just a function of two things, and that's going to be ball speed and spin. So my ball speed was good here. You can see my average ball speed is 173.5, and this was 173.9, so pretty much average. But that one had 3,400 spin, so that likely was a ball that I just hit right off the bottom of the club. But it actually stayed pretty straight. You can see it's 3,400 backspin, but only 90 side spin, so that ball likely flew pretty straight. Let's take a look at launch angle over here. So I'd love 11 degrees sort of to be my average launch angle, 11 or 12. I mean, usually if you have a little higher launch angle with less spin, you're going to hit the ball farther. A little more spin, you're going to get a stable ball flight. So you can see my average was 10.7 degrees here. A little lower than I'd like, but with how straight the balls were going in that range session, I am not going to be one to complain. The only thing I might like to lower a little bit is this spin. So 2573, I previously reviewed the LST version of the G430. That 2573, that's on the upper end of what I'd like to see from a spin perspective. I mean, I typically say 22 to 2600 is ideal for a golfer that has, you know, ball speed roughly 170 like I do. So 2500, that's a little high, but not bad if you're going to be finding the fairway. As far as carry and total distance, you know, shortest carry was 286. I had one out there at 309. Total distance, that's pretty good. You know, if I'm hitting the ball 300 or over and hitting the fairway the majority of the time, I am going to be a better golfer and I am not going to complain. So after hitting that range session, at the beginning of this video, I said that I actually like the G430 better, but after that range session, I might actually have to reconsider. That was pretty impressive by the G440. Probably better than when I've been playing it. Maybe I feel pressure when I'm playing simulator golf and don't hit the ball as consistent as I did in that range session. But this is a really nice club. I'd encourage you to check it out, especially if you're a Ping fan. It's kind of got that traditional Ping feel like I mentioned earlier, and is a very nice addition to their lineup. So if you like our content, please subscribe, click like or subscribe, and check us out on swingyard.com. Thanks, guys.